I'm Ruth, I'm the National Campaigns Chair of Living Rent, and we're here tonight to say that MSPs need to vote for Stage 1 of the Housing Bill tomorrow. So housing costs are the single largest driver of poverty in Scotland. We know that. We know that rents are out of control. We've seen massive spikes. We've had 90% rent increases in Glasgow over the past 10 years, 80% in Edinburgh, and rents keep going up. No other business goes unregulated like this. It's time for the Scottish Government to act and bring rents down.
My name's Gordon, I'm a member of the Leith branch of Living Rent, Scotland's tenants union. And I'm here because tenants have been pushed to breaking point across Scotland. And tomorrow, the Scottish Government finally has an opportunity to do something about that, to bring in rent controls and stop landlords milking tenants for all they're worth, stop landlords driving tenants into poverty, into food banks, to homelessness, and turn the tide on 40, 50 years of Thatcherite housing policy by bringing in strong, transformative, radical rent controls.
So what we've got in the bill at the moment is the possibility to have rents that are capped between tenancies. So they are tied to the property and not the tenancy, which is significant. At the moment we're seeing a wave of evictions because landlords are incentivised to evict tenants in order to up the rent. So it's really, really key that we see this bill voted through at Stage 1 tomorrow. There's a big fight ahead. We know that the SNP and the Tories are going to be submitting pretty significant amendments at Stage 2, and they're going to try and water down the bill significantly. So we need everybody to get behind Living Rent. We need all of our trade union allies to back us, and we need to demand strong, robust rent controls that can bring rents down.
I think there's a really fundamental conflict of interest. We have people who are making a profit off the lack of housing regulation, making decisions about housing regulation. Paul McLennan, the housing minister, is a landlord himself. I think that's just totally unacceptable. In other fields, you'd call it insider trading, you'd call it corruption, but for some reason when it comes to housing, it's deemed acceptable for landlords to be calling the shots on the regulations that are meant to protect them. I think it's an outrage. It really has to change. But fundamentally what we have to do is change the way we think about housing, think about landlords, so that it's not an asset for landlords and developers to speculate and gamble on, but it's a vital piece of public infrastructure that we need as a society. The regulation should reflect that, and rent controls at the start.